There you go. So with that said, our next segment, high spots and low shots, and my low shot, you know what? I'm going to say my low shot is, Mark Henry. I'll say Mark Henry this week.
Okay.
Once again, let his emotions get the better of him. Lost 3 straight times to Bo Dallas, and he just hasn't gotten it together since falling at the hands of Rusev. So, yeah, just a bad time for the world's strongest man.
All right. My low shot is going to be Seth Rollins because he technically did lose tonight. He got beat down a couple times, even if only briefly. And to kind of top it all off, he found out at the end of the night that he is basically going to be bait. He's going to be in a Hell in a Cell with somebody who wants to kill him, regardless of who it ends up being come October, whatever the date is. And he is royally screwed at that point.
Right, absolutely. I really like your choice of Seth Rollins. It seems like the world is closing in on him, so we'll see if he can fight his way out. I doubt it. In that same vein, my high spot is, I think for the second straight week, if I'm not mistaken, Dean Ambrose.
Nice.
I mean, dude, I'm going to keep doing it when he keeps being this brilliant. Stands his ground to John Cena, doesn't take his crap, leaves him to fend for himself, and then closes the night again with the whole hot dog vendor and the imagery and everything else, taking it to Kane, Orton, and Rollins, and then, laying Cena out when the gauntlet's been laid by the Authority of what's going down for Hell in a Cell. And this is with a show with The Rock on it. I feel like, again, Ambrose was the star of this Raw. I love his look. I love his attitude. I love how he takes care of business. He's the guy, dude. We keep saying, like, we said last week how that segment with the briefcase and everything had that attitude era quality. I'm telling you, he's got those Stone Cold-esque qualities about him. His segments have just been on point. He is just going to do so well for the remainder of this year, and next year I think the whole world is going to open up to Dean Ambrose in terms of programs and people he'll be working with. I cannot wait.
Yeah. My high spot is Brooklyn. The Brooklyn crowd is my high spot tonight because they did not take any crap. When the WWE put crap in front of them, they booed it. When they put insulting stuff in front of them, they chanted, "This is stupid." When they put The Miz versus Sheamus in front of them with Damian Sandow stealing the show, they chanted for Sandow. When one of the Usos was in the ring, they chanted for Ziggler. They sang along to John Cena's music, "John Cena sucks," and that was awesome. And yeah, this Brooklyn crowd was on point tonight, and because John Cena already took Dean Ambrose, and I can't think of anybody who had a better night than Ambrose other than the Brooklyn crowd, I'm going to give my high spot to them.
Excellent choice, dude. I have to say the Brooklyn crowd was the only part of this Raw that made it feel potentially like a post-WrestleMania Raw with their reactions and how they handled certain things. I love this crowd. Hey, when they didn't like something, they let it be known, and when they love something, they let it be known. That's what you call an honest consumer, and that's what every business should strive for. So you rock on, Brooklyn. You were awesome tonight.
Absolutely.
So with that said, Raw request. And I'm going to hand it to you, Ashton, to start. What's your Raw request this week?
Oh, you're going to do this now?
Yeah, I just did. So.
All right. You know what, dude? After this Raw, my Raw request is going to be really simple. Anything involving Hornswoggle should be reserved for pre-shows and superstars only.
Perfect. My Raw request, also after something that happened on this Raw, I would really suggest that going forward, you just handle all guest hosts, no matter the cause or the purpose, to pre-recorded segments or
pre-tapes. Yeah, I was just going to say that, definitely.
Pre-tapes or WWE.com segments. Stop feeding guest hosts unless you know they're genuine fans of the product and they have that likability. Like if it was like a Shaquille O'Neal or something. Like I feel like there can be certain exceptions made.
Basically, if they have charisma is what it comes down to.
Right, because I know next week they've got like I think how you pronounce it is Nene Leakes appearing on Raw. She's apparently like some kind of fashion designer or something. Yeah, I have no idea who she is either.
I'm actually already scared by the fact that she exists.
Yeah, see, there you go. So just keep it to pre-recorded segments and just handle your celebrity guests and their connected causes or promotions just in a pre-recorded environment. So that's my Raw request.
All right. You know what's next, right?
30-second hot seat. Bring it on, because I know I took a break last week because we flipped the script, and I did one for you, so I've gotten plenty of rest. Lay it on me.
All right. Well, a lot of stuff is kind of laid out, set in stone for Hell in a Cell, and we just kind of have to figure out what is going to happen with the matches. We already know what matches we're going to get. We already have the whole Cena Ambrose Rollins thing figured out. We're probably going to get Miz Sheamus. We're almost definitely going to get Ziggler Cesaro. We're probably going to get Paige AJ again, and we're almost definitely going to get Usos versus Gold Star. So my question for you is, what will the stipulations be for those championship matches? You have 30, and just to go over them, we already know Cena Rollins, so you don't have to worry about that. But the matches that I want to know the stipulations for are Sheamus versus Miz, Ziggler versus Cesaro, Paige versus AJ, and possibly somebody else that might be added to that match if you think someone will be, and the Usos versus Gold Star. So that's 4 championship matches, all most likely going to happen at Hell in a Cell. You have 30 seconds, and your time starts now.
Funny thing is, I don't see any of the matches really having an added stipulation, and maybe Paige AJ would have a submission stipulation attached to it, but that's the only guess I would make. So I'm going to say Paige AJ, submission match, Ziggler Cesaro, normal match, Sheamus Miz, normal match, Gold Star Usos, normal match. So those are my predictions.
Oh, well, that was underwhelming to say the least.
Yeah, I really don't see many gimmick matches emerging from this pay-per-view aside from the Cell matches. Though I will say this, normally WWE does 2 Hell in a Cell matches at the Hell in a Cell event, and I've heard rumors that say, hypothetically, because I don't want to confront the reality yet, that Ambrose does lose to Cena. I've heard that the loser will take on Randy Orton also inside the Cell. So that would be one other gimmick match I could see potentially if those rumors pan out. Dean Ambrose versus Randy Orton inside Hell in a Cell.
You know, I don't actually know how likely this is to happen, but from a pure logic standpoint, I think that the match that makes the most sense to get the Hell in a Cell stipulation, aside from the winner of Ambrose Cena versus Rollins, is the tag team title match. The Usos versus Gold Star. These guys have been feuding for a little while now. Gold Star injured one of the Usos at one point. If any match other than the Rollins thing deserves a Hell in a Cell stipulation, it is that tag team championship match between the Usos and Gold Star.
I could agree with that because the heels have actually made it very personal for the babyfaces. For the reason you just mentioned, they injured one of the Usos, and they took the tag titles from them after a close to 7-month reign.
I'm pretty sure it was Jay that they injured now that I think about it, because Jimmy wrestled more matches in September.
Yeah, so I think you're right. It was Jey Uso. So you figure the injury, cutting them off right as they were about to close in on 7 months as champions and taking the gold from them. And then you figure when they tried cashing in their rematch on that one SmackDown, Gold Star deliberately got DQ'd as they were closing in. So the heels have really stuck it to the Usos. So I could see where you're coming from with that logic, dude.
Oh, and by the way, we forgot to mention that at one point during the post-match beatdown involving Rollins, Ambrose, Cena, Orton, and Kane, Dean Ambrose took a tongs to Seth Rollins' crotch.
Actually, I did mention that.
Oh, you did mention? I was going to say, because, like...
Yeah, you actually had the correct word, because I said pincers when I brought it up, and I said that he put them right in the gonads of Seth Rollins, so yeah, he's not going to have any children.
Yeah, I mean, that's a different kind of wiener for those things to be grabbing, but effective nonetheless.
Yeah.
I guess you could say that the tongs to Rollins' nuts was just what Dean needed to do to make the crowd go nuts.
Not as bad as what I was going to say. I was going to say, I don't know if Seth Rollins is in a relationship, but I think Plan B just got taken care of for them after that tong spot.
Okay, that was a good one.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's all we have for you folks.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been Monday Night Raw. This has been TwitWow, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort in Commentary Ashton. Guys, Be sure to comment and discuss on Tweet Off, Everything Monday Night Raw. Subscribe on YouTube, and we will see you again for our NXT review, where I read earlier today that it will be Titus O'Neil going one-on-one with Sami Zayn.